calm Alan down, to keep him from going out and making a big mess of the society, of breaking the fourth wall of society in a way. You know, like in a movie, when a character looks at the camera and says, "It's a movie," that's what Alan is, except he's got a gun, and he's coming for the people that cause buses to be late.
Yes, and I say it's time to make crime illegal again. But it's similar. I am breaking a sort of fourth wall, the fourth wall of the frontal lobe of the skull.
And thank you for that, Alan. And I really appreciate that you've been able to keep your horrible anger in check for as long as you have.
Yes, well, I was very excited to meet James's mom, and I didn't want to gush.
Next up, we have a wonderful, speaking of gush, we have a wonderful video from, you guessed it, Ryan from Rhode Island.
Yay.
Take it away, Ryan.
An inky sky twitches with electricity as lightning licks the moon's face. She's crying for the gush. I ignore her cry as I suffocate my sorrows. One sip, one sin at a time. Another dark and stormy, I snarl. The waitress runs over with my drink. Time freezes. My heart smiles. She was a 6-foot-tall angelic being with long, flowing golden brown hair, bringing me a cup of heaven. I couldn't even bear to look up at her. I just mumbled thanks. My favorite watering hole, Dante's Inn. I only use the money I rip from the pockets of dead men to get my buzz. I grit my teeth as the people at the bar talk politics. They sound like ducks quacking. Quack, quack, quack. Red or blue, what's the difference? It's all one big gray blur in the gutters. The only difference between me and them, they hate half the government. I hate the whole damn thing. As the quacking gets louder, I dig my thumb further and further into the cut in my hand. Then I smash my fist upon the bar top. The entire place comes to a freeze. The waitress gasps. I guess I overstayed my welcome. Ha ha ha. I grab my coat, shuffle over to the jukebox, and then press A11. Poor boy, Nick Drake. I leave a trail of blood from the jukebox to the door. I guess it's time for me to leave. As I leave the bar, I see a Kia boy trying to break into the waitress's Hyundai. Not on my watch. I pull out my blade. The jury is in, and I take each one of his fingers. Try hot wiring with those. Ha 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 ha. Well, I guess the mayor will have to wait. He's a wasp. Pretend to be an Italian. We'll call me the bug swatter. He's next on my list. But for tonight, the sounds of the sniveling of the Kia boy will lull me to sleep. The hush of the gush.
A lot to unpack in that one, Alan.
I think that was incredible. I think Ryan has really captured a sort of physicality of the gush. Somehow, even though I don't think I've ever been caught on film. I would never take a sidekick ever. I do work solo, I work alone, but I am impressed, I will say. One small note, this rendition, this character you're doing says you hate the whole government. And gush, Alan gush, when I gush, it's not, I don't hate the government as much as I wish the government was bigger. I wish every person in the citizenry was actually a member of the government. I wish the government was everybody, so that crime wouldn't exist. If the government grew so large that it incorporated all the citizenry and everyone was aligned with the government correctly, then no crime could exist. Does that make sense?
That absolutely makes sense, Alan. And when I look at this video, I think of the great classic Sega Saturn game, Die Hard Arcade. The Dynamite Cop Die Hard Arcade. is one of my favorite beat 'em ups of that era, and I gotta say that when I look at Ryan flailing around like that in his living room, crashing into various bits of furniture, I think of Shiver Me Timbers. I guess the Dynamite Cop must have had a kid, and that kid became Ryan from Rhode Island, some wild, flailing. He is. You know what you're saying to me about the sidekick thing. You know, I'd like to say something that I don't say out loud, although sometimes I do think it, and that's game recognized game.